So I have washed my hands, and I am going to put on some clean gloves and just wipe my area down to make sure that I'm getting rid of all the things that could make this not sterile. And you're gonna let this dry for about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. My dirty gloves off, I've gelled my hands, and I'm gonna go ahead and start opening all of my stuff for my sterile field. I'm gonna cover my hair, and I'm gonna assemble my supplies on top of the sterile field. You can put my sterile field. Your package is not sterile, so I'm just going to leave my fluids off to the side. And my flush is also not considered sterile, so I'm going to leave that off to the side as well. I'm going to gel my hands. So I have assembled all my supplies. I have my sterile gloves on. I'm gonna start connecting. I like to connect from my bifuse back up to the syringe. You put a clave on each access. Your Medline tubing. And on the end of your Medline tubing, you will also add a clave for your saline syringe. Take all that stuff off. Syringe will go to this clave that's already attached to this Medline, which also already has its own filter. So you do not need to add a filter either. And now that everything is connected, you are ready to start stringing. So my technique may be different from others, but I like to grab from the inside of the sterile glove packaging and grab the dirty bag And I also laid a 2x2 on my sterile field for parts like this. Pull back all the way so that you have enough to fill your syringe and prime your tubing. Space in there, so you're going to push that through. And this has a valve on there that will only go back to the tubing now. It will not go back to the bag. Make sure there's no bubbles. Okay. And then your line. And I'm just pushing it through to prime that med line. Now all of my sites are hooked up and primed. This is going to the baby. So I put that inside my sterile glove package. I take it over to my baby's bed space. I put on new sterile gloves and I will clean my site with my chlorhexidine swab for 30 seconds. All right, so now we're at our baby's bedside. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up my bag up there and go ahead and put my syringe on the pump. So I'm gonna turn the pump on, power button, and wait for it to load. Main screen. Before I put anything in it, I'm going to go ahead and put my syringe on. You push this part of the syringe into this little space right here and it will click in. You squeeze the little clamps there and slide it to fit the plunger and let go, and it'll hold it on there, and then you lock this down. We are doing the library and it will be under neonatal, so option 2. We have D10 with heparin hanging for our UVC, so we are going to go down to option 2 where that would be in the library, and we're going to click next until we see D10 with heparin, which will be option 1. Are you sure that that's what you have? Yes. Then you're going to select the size syringe, and if you're not sure, it is listed on the syringe itself. So this is the monoject. We are confirming it's the 60 ml monoject. Okay, and our baby is a 3 kilo baby, and we are ordered to run our D10 with heparin at 80 mLs per kilo per day, which calculates out to 10 mLs per hour. So I'm going to enter 10 mLs per hour, click enter, and you're gonna set your volume limit for 4 hours of your hourly rate. So I'm gonna set this for 40, and it's gonna have me confirm my settings. You want your rate as 10 mLs an hour and your volume limit of 4 hours of your rate, so 40 mLs of D10 with heparin. Yes. All right, And now you are ready to push start to start infusing your baby with the D10 with heparin. Right. So now we have been ordered to give our baby a D10 bolus. So back to our baby of 3 kilos, we are going to give a 2 ml per kilo bolus, which will be 6 mLs of D10. So I've turned my pump on already. Let me go back to the main menu. And we're gonna hit our neonatal profile once we click everything in. Option 2 for neonatal. And then from this menu, you're gonna hit more because we're gonna select the volume over time option, which will be your second option, number 2. And it's going to ask me to confirm that. Volume over time, yes. And again, we are going to select our syringe, which is the BD. So that's option 1. And it's the 10 ml syringe. Confirm. All right, so we are going to give 6 mLs. And we have been ordered to run our bolus over 5 minutes, but always confirm with your provider how long they want you to infuse your bolus over. So we are doing 6 mLs over 5 minutes. Yes. And then you click your green button to run your infusion or your bolus. Also available in your library will be your antibiotics. So we will be doing ampicillin and gentamicin. So if you click your neonatal profile, the first option is the A through CEF. And you're going to click next until you get to your ampicillin option. And we are doing the ampicillin 100 milligrams per ml. It's number 3. We are confirming that, yes. Then you will go through, you'll select your syringe size. For this case, we are doing this one. And our baby is a 3 kilo baby. It's gonna ask me to re-enter the weight to confirm it. And the order is written as 100 milligrams per kilo. So we are going to be doing a 300 milligram infusion. It calculates out the time as 15 minutes. You click enter. You are confirming all of your settings. That is correct. And you're going to start infusing your ampicillin. So our ampicillin has now completed, and it is going to ask me to push this button, and it's going to say, do you want to begin the flush setup? Yes is always the answer. Yes. So I'm going to change my syringe to my flush. But before I put on my flush, I am going to scrub the hub. I am watching the time for 30 seconds. Okay. All right, it has been 30 seconds and I have let this dry. I'm going to add my flush. I'm going to select my syringe, which is the BD. It's the 10 ml. And I'm going to infuse 0.6 because the tubing is 0.3 and the hub is 0.2. So just to confirm that we are getting our medication all the way through the line, we are doing 0.6. It already calculates out how long it's going to infuse. So I am just going to confirm and start.